Right, so we are in the brand new Range Rover Sport. This one is a D350 first edition. First impression, lads?
It's nice, isn't it?
It's a bit different, isn't it?
It's a lot different to the old one.
I love the outside of this car. I know we've got a bit of a mixed bag in this car, but you're going to see it on the video. But from my point of view, I think they've got it right.
I think the interior is what really stands out above the old car.
Well, let's be honest. The old car interior infotainment system didn't work. It wasn't great. They do seem to have sorted this out. It is a bit different in here. What do you call this inside here, Mark?
Well, the middle bit is like forged carbon, isn't it?
It is a bit like forged carbon, yeah.
It's like the rear wing of a Performante.
Now, you have to excuse us. It's the first time we've actually been in one ourselves. I'm trying to work out how to move the seat and stuff.
And this
in your door.
Is that one long speaker?
I think it is, yeah.
So
one long speaker.
Yeah.
Let's start driving, see what we think. Let's hit the elephant in the room, Mike. This is Matt Macca.
Hello.
Talk to us about what's been going on with JLR.
Who knows what's going on with JLR?
And why these cars have taken so long, as far as we are aware.
As far as we are aware, part shortages, semiconductors, wiring looms, Meridian sound system, 23-inch wheels,
yeah, all sorts.
New BMW fruity engines.
So yeah, you have seen some on the road, yet not a great deal, and probably nowhere near the amount they would actually like to have on the road.
No, and I think I think if you want the big engine now, I don't think you can order it now because there's no word of when it's going to come.
So what is that?
Switching manufacturer to the
525 and
530. So switch manufacturer to BMW for the M5 engine. Is it, Mark?
Yeah,
basically, the M engine.
Yeah, so the V8 is petrol is from the M5, but it'll be detuned, and then when they bring the SVR out, they'll tune it up.
Fruit it up again.
Should be up to 600 and something horsepower, so it'll be a lot more powerful than the previous model.
there's no doubt they've really given a lot of thought to the interior of this car. It works. It just works.
Yeah.
It feels like a Range Rover.
It feels like a Range Rover. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. In fact, it's driving lovely.
I'm very comfortable. Cliff, how are you back there, Cliff?
Yeah, loads of
room.
Well, Cliff's come from straight from a 1990s Alpine ski session.
Aspen.
Or a rave.
Aspen
He looks more like he's on his way home from a rave.
But yeah, I think from the exterior we noted that we think this car's probably is built and designed in a way to take electric capability eventually, because we've noted there's not a lot of vents. There's vents on the bonnet, right? Am I saying that?
But well, they're not vents.
They're not vents. They're just
show.
Yeah.
They're for cosmetic use only.
The grille has obviously been shrunk down quite a lot, which
is
electric
a
cars
problem.
don't.
Which is the problem for me. I'll explain that in a cutaway. Right, just a quick cutaway to explain what I mean about this car having styling problems on the front end, because I couldn't get a word in edgeways in the car. But let me get out of the way. I think the front of this car looks excellent without a front plate on. Unfortunately, because we're in the UK, it is a legal law, it is the law to have a front plate, which makes me think that the car has been designed for the American market, because they don't have to have a front plate, and it looks amazing with no front plate on, as you can see, right? That looks so cool. The problem is the placement of the plate. Because they've got the grille right in the middle here, this is how it comes, right? That's how, if you buy your new car, that is how it arrives. It's too low. The other option is to put it higher. That looks too high, right? So where it needs to actually be is where you can't put it, because it needs to be about there, and that looks a lot more balanced. I mean, it's wonky, but that's where it should be, but obviously it can't go there because there's a grille there. So I think the way to improve this car would be, and this may be what someone ends up doing, is redesigning the front bumper, essentially bringing this grille down. So lift this up to there, do away with that, and then you can put the plate there, and all of that below is grille, and it would also look a lot more aggressive that way. Anyway, back to the film.
But this being a D350 means it's 350 brake
350 brake, yeah, 3 litre diesel, 350 brake.
It drives so much. I mean, my wife's got the older one with the 18 model year, if you like, and this drives like a different car. This is like a Rolls Royce compared to that.
Yeah, it does feel a lot nicer. Even in the back on the world's most bumpy road, it's a lot more comfortable than
the Range Rover is too, which used to be called the Vogue, is now the Range Rover, the big car. That also is an incredible drive. So, first point to know, if you're looking to get one of these, the drive is going to be far superior. The other thing I think we need to say is that we think there's going to be masses of these cars on the road, obviously, like there always is, but those masses will probably start when we're thinking second quarter of next year.
You would like to think so, yeah.
Which was supposed to be the second quarter of this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been painful. It's been a painful wait for a lot of people that have been, going in and ordering them. But all in all, I think it's going to be worth the wait. That we as a team haven't seen a new car, a new model, for a long time, have we?
No, and when you think back, so like this year, really the big seller for us has been Defender. Last year it was G-Wagon and Urus.
Yeah.
But over the history of the business, I would say probably we've sold more Range Rover Sports than any other model, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like ever since it was launched, the first car, when was that? 2007?
Well, the Range Rover, 2005, yeah.
We're very interested to see what our good friends up at Urban are going to do with the cars. See how they come out. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But, actually to look at this car as it comes with the 23s and all colour coded, it's a really good looking car. You weren't sure, Cliff.
I wasn't sure. I think it's growing on me. What did I say? It's growing, not a show. It's growing on me.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I felt a bit underwhelmed, if I'm being honest. That was probably about 2 months ago at a festival.
I like this.
What colour was that, Cliff? What colour was that car?
It was, if I remember rightly, it was a real deep blue.
Okay.
However, looking at this in the black, in the car park,
it does look
driving
good.
It looks good.
You can feel that.
But here's quite interesting. We're just going past the new shape, the latest shape of Vogue, and
Vogue, yeah,
the style cues are definitely there, aren't they?
It's the same.
Same
You
car.
can definitely see with the design of it how they're gearing up for the electric.
In terms of the models, if people are interested in getting one of these, and of course just come to us and ask if you want our opinions or anything, because we'll always give you that independent opinion. The model structure, so how do they run?
You're going to get everything you want in an SE.
Right.
You start at an SE.
It's not like the old days.
No. So it'll start at the SE. So you're going to get your nav, you're going to get heated seats, you're going to get phone, you're going to get all the things you need in an SE. Then you'll go SE Dynamic, which gives you a different front bumper and a slightly different rear end, I would presume, a little bit of a splitter around your exhaust, just a bit of a styling cue. But then across the rest of the range, HSE, Autobiography, First Edition, they all have that dynamic front end. Right. So the entry level is just the Range Rover Sport SE. But
spec-wise inside, that's going to give you an awful lot.
It's going to give you everything you want.
So if people could have, if they didn't want to spend all the money, they could have an SE.
Of course.
Put some 23s on it, it'll look the part.
Or put some Urban 23s, put a roof in it, and away you go. But you're going to have all those things you expect to have. So the things that you need, So, they're all going to come with CarPlay. They're all going to come with touchscreen nav. They're
Meridian
all going to come with heated seat. Probably not Meridian sound. I haven't looked, but I would imagine that's going to be one thing that especially now, if they're running out of Meridian sound, they're not going to put it in your SE.
This is brilliant, isn't it? By the way, the infotainment system on this car,
it's a big screen. I don't know if there's
so much better than the other car. Which used to come on.
Everyone just uses Apple CarPlay now anyway.
But this has come through from the Defender, so anyone who's driven a Defender is used to seeing this already. Yeah. Same system, same setup, same camera system. Which works nicely.
The one we're in today, because you're going to look at it, you can see the video. So this is a D350 First Edition, which essentially is Autobiography spec and more.
Plus Autobiography Plus. So it's got
head-up display,
the carbon and stuff like that's going to be in there. Yeah.
But I mean, you look what I'm looking at, and we've obviously sat in a lot of cars. There isn't an option that I can't even contemplate. It hasn't got.
No.
Can I point out a major difference between this and the previous generation is that the previous generation Range Rover full-size car was a league above the Sport in terms of the interior, the build quality, the feel, the drive. This feels
like
pretty
a match.
level.
Yeah, it does.
Like the Sport has really stepped up to like the level of luxury that the big car has.
In terms of the money on these, at at the moment, with this massive production issue, the only ones floating in the market are fetching premiums and big premiums. So there is going to be a wait. If you want to go into a dealership and order one of these cars, you're going to be waiting. I mean, just talk to us about it and we'll give you an indication when you can have a car. But the point being is, I think, yeah, it will be worth the wait. But if you did want one, you desperately want one, there's going to be a premium for the minute. Now, our view is obviously as soon as they start coming through in the masses, it's going to be a different story. That premium price is going to go, but no one really knows when that's going to be. I don't know what our feelings is.
Well, no, if you speak to the dealership, ordinarily they'll have an order bank, and first come is first served.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening with this car.
No.
People are getting the car whenever the factory decides to build them.
And if you're to order one today, they're quite in 2 years, right?
Yeah, because they can't really tell you.
They can't tell you because they don't know themselves.
Don't know themselves, and because of this first come first served thing that would normally happen and isn't happening on this, how can you tell someone when the car's coming?
No.
Because even the people who've ordered, they can't tell you when they're coming.
But we're finding at the moment, so across the board with all cars, like if they're relatively new, it's not really the list price that you might see online that's dictating the price of the market. It is the price of the market which is dictating the price. Mm-hmm. So there might be a car, I mean, your prime example is a G-Wagon, which is what, 180 grand?
180 grand, yeah.
And because there's a 3-year wait, there's a 30 grand premium sitting on there. But it's just probably going to stay there, because until they start coming through again in normal numbers, that demand's still going to be there. And obviously, you know, the market's going to have to feed what they can feed. But at the same time, the people that desperately want them are going to have to pay overs for them.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So I wouldn't be too scared by the market value of anything. It just means that everything's going to cost you a bit more. Along with interest rate rises and finance, it's just how it is at the moment. The days of Mercedes deals, really cheap cars, are just gone. But if you think, oh, well, I'll just wait, you're going to be waiting an awful long time before that is back to a place where you even remember it being. But on this car, I don't know if
we also have to remember that everybody who's in a car at the moment, that car is also worth more than it would have been a year ago.
Yeah.
So therefore, yes, you're paying more for your new car, you're getting more for your old one. So it's a bit like a house, really. You're buying a house in this market, you're selling one in this market. You're not rich, you're not making more money. You just transfer that money
over
across
to the other car.
Yeah.
This 350 brake is, in my view, well, I haven't driven the others, obviously. You know, if I was to have one of these, this is more than quick enough. Jesus.
It's quite fruity, isn't it?
It's fruity.
And actually, it makes quite a nice noise.
Yeah.
It does make a noise, Mark.
Yeah.
But it's diesel, so what do we think about that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, listen, I think diesel's going to be here for a while to stay yet, even though they keep telling us it's not. But I also am a fan of the petrol. But this doesn't sound bad for a diesel, does it?
No, it doesn't sound bad. I actually forgot that it was a diesel, which is, from me, a diesel hater, quite an accolade, really.
No.
Are you?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if you know.
I don't mind them.
Well, that's again coming from Mark, the luxury in here. You know, it's quiet. It's quiet.
It's got good pickup as well. When you go, it goes, isn't it?
What a family car this is, though.
Take
If
them
you've
on,
got
take
kids,
it's got so far, it's taken his air off.
Lost my tooth.
I'll be honest, I think this is the best car. Well, it's obviously a new model, but it's the best car we've been in.
That's nice.
For quite some time, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But yeah.
You know, it does everything
I
it
think
says
the
in the tin.
interior exceeds expectation on what you think a Range Rover would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get in it and you do kind of go, wow, it's...
There is a mixed bag on the outside, though. It is a slightly different shape to the old car. The back end is heavier.
Yeah.
It's got a big problem.
It's got a bit of an American sort of vibe going on.
Let's have a massage, shall we?
Oh, it's a massage.
But
it's also different than what you're used to, the outside, and it's amazing, isn't it? How quick you get used to something and then it becomes a normal.
But how often have we seen that before? With the current Range Rover, you know, well, the older one now, I suppose. But
then a new car that comes in,
we always think, nah, we like the old one, but you soon,
Before you know it, everything else looks dated.
And it's so much different to the 80 model year car, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we had one yesterday, sort of side by side with this, and you said, didn't you, straight away? You're like, the previous model year car looks so dated now compared to what this looks like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. This just sounds like a petrol V6.
It does. Do you know what it sounds a bit like? Do you remember the old V8 Sport 3.6?
You took the words out of my mouth.
It sounds just like that.
Straight 6 BMW.
We used to do loads of them, Mark. Before you were born, we did loads of those previous. The first model, we colour coded them. We put overfinch wheels on them at that point. Sorry, Simon. But that was what everyone wanted: overfinch wheels, colour coded, and that 3.6.
Well, it's got a thumbs up from us. I'm sure you'll have things to say, please do leave us your comments, because we're really interested in what you've got to say.
With this new team test feature we're going to start doing, we're going to score all the cars out of 10. So let's see how this car got on. But why? You have to tell me why.
Oh, I'm actually talking.
Yeah.
Oh mate, all round, for what it is, for the price bracket, big improvement, definitely a 9 for me.
Range Rover Sport D350 first edition gets an 8.5 from me. I think I may prefer the hybrid and would probably give it a 9.
Hi, so new Range Rover Sport, I think fantastic up front, needs a bit of work on the rear, but it's what's on the inside that counts, so I'm going to give it a big fat 8.
So my score for the new Sport is a 8. It looks a bit too much like a Velar. I can't get over that number plate placement at the moment, but the interior is amazing and I'm sure I will grow to love the styling of it. It's a great car.